A number of people are displaced from their home after a fire broke out at a low-income apartment building in Oxford. News Center's Chris Costa is live in Oxford at the scene right now. Chris, it seems crews are still clearing out. Is that right?
Yeah, Katie, for the most part, most of the crews are now gone. At least 10 fire departments were here at one point earlier in the day here at the Oxford Meadow Apartments on Main Street in Oxford. Here's what we know as of right now from Oxford Fire Chief Wayne Jones. 3 people who were residents here at this complex were transported to Stevens Memorial Hospital. 2 of those 3 people were unconscious when they left. Right now, we have no word on their condition, and their names have not been released. All of the other residents who were evacuated from this building have been taken to the Oxford Hills Comprehensive High School for a temporary warming shelter. That's because of sort of the chilly temperatures this morning, and that's also a place where they'll be getting support from the Red Cross and be reunited with family members and friends. Take a look at some of the video that we shot earlier this morning. The chief says that the fire broke out on the first floor on the right side of the building and that multiple people were trapped because of the heavy black smoke. Firefighters don't know how many people exactly were inside at the time, but the complex houses mostly elderly people. At first they were short on manpower but managed to get everyone out. The call came in a little before 2 in the morning. The building has working fire alarms, but no sprinklers, according to the fire chief, and is still up to code for its age. Again, all of this is according to Oxford Fire Chief Wayne Jones. Chief Jones says that the protocol for many of the residents during a fire, when they hear the fire alarm, is to stay in their apartments until firefighters arrive.
Our first priority is always to rescue occupants of the building and control the fire simultaneously. Both work hand in hand, and having enough resources or calling enough resources, manpower and equipment to take care of a multi-unit complex like this one.
Now he's investigating the exact cause of the fire. The fire marshal on scene right now. The owner of the building and firefighters are trying to account for all of the people who live here, both by cross-referencing the names of the people who are at the high school as well as those who were taken to the hospital. Again, firefighters still trying to determine exactly where on the first floor that fire started and the cause. Katie?
Chris Costa live in Oxford. Thank you very much. A judge has ruled that the defense team of a man accused of kidnapping and repeatedly sexually assaulting a girl for 9 months in his New Hampshire home won't be allowed to question her. Nathaniel Kibbe's defense team wanted to question the alleged victim, her sister, and several other witnesses, but yesterday a judge said they can only question the Maine State Trooper who tried to track the girl's phone. Kibbe is facing more than 200 charges in the case. Jury selection for the trial is scheduled to start next month. Police are investigating a homicide after a man was stabbed in a Denny's parking lot last month, and he has passed away. 31-year-old Anthony Best from VZ died in the hospital yesterday morning. He was stabbed in the parking lot of a Denny's on Brighton Avenue after a fight inside PT Show Club. Police say they are following up on several leads, but if you have any information, you are asked to give them a call. And police in Jay have arrested a man for sexually abusing 2 young girls. Stephen Dumeni is charged with unlawful sexual contact and unlawful sexual touching. Officials started this investigation last week after state police in New York contacted them. The 2 girls told New York police about the alleged abuse they say happened back in December in Jay. Dumeni is being held at the Franklin County Jail on a $20,000 bail.
We are asking for anyone with information of Tony whereabouts to come forward and let us know. We beg you, please share what you know so we can bring our son's remains home.
Today is the 17th anniversary that Angel Torres went missing. He was last seen in Biddeford in the Biddeford area, and no one has ever been arrested in the case, and his body has never been found. Torres's parents have offered a monetary reward for information leading to what happened to him. Yesterday, they tripled their original offer from $5,000 to $15,000. State police say they suspect foul play and that the investigation is still ongoing. Police want to talk to the mother and girlfriend of the last known person to see Angel alive, Jason Carney. They say Carney told them that something bad happened to Angel during a drug deal at a convenience store, but he never gave police more than that. Carney died several months ago in Rhode Island. State police say they're also reviewing the case to see if Torres's body could still be in the Biddeford area. Police are reopening a 39-year-old cold case after a mysterious letter was sent to another missing man's parents. The Portland Press-Herald reports that Bernard Ross Jr.'s parents got an unsigned letter a few months ago at their home on Munjoy Hill in Portland. Ross went missing when he was 18 years old back on May 12th of 1977 from Fort Kent. The author of this letter said they knew something about Ross's disappearance. Police haven't released the letter. While they say it may be a hoax, it could also lead to more information in this case. 1 week is down and there's one more to go for the Alfaro hearings in Jacksonville, Florida. We'll take a look at what's coming up next week, but first let's summarize what's happened so far this week. Yesterday, the focus was on the cargo that was loaded on the Alfaro and how that may have affected the ship's stability. Alfaro was carrying 391 shipping containers and about 294 trailers and cars. Someone with the American Bureau of Shipping that inspected the ship says that they used a computer program called CargoMax, which is used to make sure the weight of the ship is balanced so it doesn't tip over in rough weather, that is. But in the last round of hearings in February, a former chief mate on the Alfaro said that system isn't always accurate. Yesterday, the company said the Alfaro did pass the stability test.
Sitting here today, sir, is there any way to know whether the conditions that may have been experienced by the Alfaro exceeded the assumptions and experience that were incorporated into the rules and conventions?
Unfortunately.
We'll be right back with the rest of that statement. The company says they weren't told that more equipment was added to the ship, putting on more weight that would have required updates to software and changes that weren't made. Earlier this week, we also learned that the ship was getting old weather data that could have caused the captain to sail straight into Hurricane Joaquin. A former captain of the ship also testified that the ship's owner, Tote, failed to report safety concerns to the Coast Guard about another ship it owns. And a company that inspected the ship just 3 months before it set sail said Alfaro passed all of its inspections. The second full week of hearings starts on Monday. The person who helped load cargo onto the Alfaro will talk about its stability, including how it was secured. On Tuesday, the captain of Alfaro's sister ship, El Yunque, is going to talk about communications between the two ships during the Alfaro's final trip. And later in the week, ship repairs and the inspections of those repairs will be the focus. Now for a 60-second check at some other headlines this morning. Search crews in the Mediterranean have found debris and floating human remains from the Egyptian flight that went down with 66 people on board. The search goes on for more wreckage and a cause. The black box could hold crucial evidence. Automated computer messages sent from the plane suggest there was smoke in the front of the plane before it crashed. President Obama leaves today on a trip that will include a visit to Hiroshima, Japan. Although criticized for the planned visit, aides have said he will not issue an apology when he becomes the first sitting U.S. president to tour the site of the world's first atomic bombing. A top aide said Obama will refer to Hiroshima and Nagasaki as symbols of the loss of innocent life. Convenience stores in South Korea have launched a new product aimed at customers who drink too much. They are marketing a hangover-fighting ice cream bar. The grapefruit-flavored dessert contains fruit juice from the Oriental raisin tree, a traditional hangover remedy in South Korea for hundreds of years. South Koreans are Asia's biggest per capita alcohol consumers. It's 6:11 here at News Center, and Ana Cristina Sanchez will have your full forecast for the rest of the week when we come back.